everyone. It's been a long week. My aunt died, and she's been sick for a while, and she died. So that makes number 7 for the year. Yeah, and it really sucks because I want to go to her funeral, but it actually costs me more to go to New Jersey than it does for me to go to Europe, which makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. So yeah, I can't go because it's like almost $1,000 for me to go see her. It'll just be for like a day. And well, not see her. I mean, I guess I would be seeing her, but not alive. But I would see everyone else though, and I haven't seen them since I was like 12. But yeah, but I had quizzes this week, or just one quiz, and then clinic, and then another quiz next week. The quiz this week wasn't so bad. But, actually, like today, one of the main things I'm going to talk about is Steve Hoberman. Over the years, a lot of people have asked me about Steve Hoberman, and so I'll talk about him a bit. My relationship began with him 11 years ago. It all started when I went to go borrow a Serge Gainsbourg CD from one of my friends. And, so, like, when I did this, he's like, you have to take Steve Hoberman with you. And I never met him before. And so then I was like, oh, well, who's Steve Hoberman? And he's like, oh, well, this is Steve Hoberman. So this is him. And it's not Steve, it's not Hoberman, it's Steve Hoberman. Now, can you see him? There you go. I can't master the camera. Okay, there we go. There he is. There's Steve Hoberman. And so, when I went to go return the CD, I brought Steve back. Steve Hoberman back. Force of habit. And, that's when Chris was like, oh no, he's yours now. And so I'm like, oh great. So let me give you a little background on him. Steve Hoberman was initially discovered walking back from a party, and he was laying in a ditch on the side of the street. And so, like, my friends decided to pick him up and take him home. So they had him for a little while, and then they got rid of him. They threw him away. And, Chad was cleaning up one day, and inside of the closet was Steve Hoberman. We're like, whoa, what happened? We got rid of him. And so then we had him for a little while again. And then, it was the end of the semester, and, we had to, like, clean out, like, micro fridges and all of that. A micro fridge, for those of you who don't know, and if you've never lived in a dorm, it's a microwave mounted onto, like, a little refrigerator freezer thing. And, so Chad forgot to unplug it, and he left the doors open. So, of course, when we came back, the freezer was just a solid block of ice inside. Like, you couldn't close the door. Oh, that's the phone. Okay, hold on. So, coming back from vacation, like, break in between semesters, like Chad had left open the door to the freezer. So, like, he couldn't close the door. It was a huge block of ice, a completely frozen solid. So he was letting it thaw for a little while, and he had a towel in there because he was gonna soak up all the water from when, like, the frost that was in there before thawed, so that would, like, soak up the water. So he was chiseling away at the ice, and then inside there was Steve Hoberman again. So he was like the golem. It's like he couldn't be destroyed, like, no matter what you did to him. And you try to get rid of him, and he would keep coming back. And so, after the Serge Gainsbourg CD, I was stuck with him. Because Chris wouldn't take him back. And, So I had him in my room, and my roommate hated him because she thought he was really freaky looking. And he is. He's kind of a creepy little doll. And his head turns to. Yeah, okay, turning the head. And so she went. No, no. Okay, she was like totally in love with one of our friends who was getting a degree in applied metaphysics so that he could be a sorcerer. He was able to convince our university to make this a degree, applied metaphysics, humanities degree. They got rid of my actual legitimate degree of zoology, but you could get a degree in applied metaphysics, which completely blows my mind. But anyway, so he wanted to be a sorcerer, and so he was obsessed with Steve Hoberman. He wanted Steve Hoberman. I said, no, you can't take him because he's evil. All of us thought that he was evil. And so then he was holding him, and kind of mocking him. And then he got this really creepy stalker later on that night. And then, so that kind of just perpetuated the whole Steve Hoberman is evil myth. And then my roommate, she went to go touch him one day. I don't remember why. I think he may have fallen over or something, because he can sit on his own. And he may have fallen over or something. And she went to go pick him up, and she went to turn his head, because I think he was sitting like this. And then she went to turn his head slowly so that he was looking over at me, and I said, don't do that. Don't do that. That's a bad thing to do. And then later on that day, she got into her car. She was going someplace, I think to work or something, or visit a friend. And she got into a wreck. She totaled her car. So once again, a whole myth, legend, whatever you want to call it, that Steve Hoberman is evil. So I've been afraid to let anyone else touch him after that. And so I gotta say, he kind of balances out the chaos of my life. Because, weird things happen to me all the time. Like, really bizarre stuff happens to me. I don't know why. But nothing really, really bad. I mean, bad stuff does. Like, I've gotten really sick. To the verge of, nearly dying. But I always come back. So nothing really bad. Like, I'm not dead. So, but, actually, since I got him, I have gotten really sick. I've gotten hit by a car physically 3 times. One time I was actually on the sidewalk when it happened. So maybe he is bad for me, I know, but I keep him anyway. But so that's the story of Steve Hoberman. 11 years I've had him, and I don't think he's going anywhere.